Imagine building an entire application, not by, painstakingly typing lines and lines of complex code, but by simply talking.
Okay.
Just sort of guiding an AI to bring your vision to life, almost like a highly intelligent, creative partner who understands what you're thinking. It sounds like something pulled straight from a futuristic sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Well, today, we're embarking on a deep dive into precisely that. A truly revolutionary approach that's not just on the horizon, but is trending significantly right here, right now in 2025. This is a real game changer for anyone curious about AI programming.
And you're absolutely right. It's no longer just a distant vision. This concept is rapidly becoming the foundational reality of the future of software development, and its momentum in the industry is truly undeniable. The shift we're witnessing, how software is conceived and brought into existence, it's absolutely profound.
Absolutely. So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack this incredible new paradigm, a process known as vibe coding. We're going to explore exactly what it is, where this groundbreaking idea came from, and crucially, its very real-world impact that's already reshaping how businesses operate and how individuals create. We'll delve into the incredible, often surprising benefits it offers not just to seasoned programming professionals, but maybe even more dramatically, to absolute beginners. People who've always had brilliant ideas, but maybe lacked the traditional coding skills to execute them. And of course, we'll cover the crucial considerations and best practices for anyone looking to embrace this powerful new way of working. This deep dive is really tailor-made for you, whether you're a veteran developer who's been pushing lines of code for decades, or someone completely new to programming, brimming with innovative ideas, just waiting for an accessible way to bring them to life. Okay, let's unpack this then. What exactly is vibe coding? At its core, it's a programming style that embodies what we can truly call AI-human pair programming. Think of it not as writing traditional code, but as an incredibly intuitive, dynamic collaboration where the artificial intelligence generates the underlying structure and functionality. And you, the human, act as the visionary, the guide, and the precise refiner. The key distinction, the true revolution here, is that it leverages natural language. This means you're not bogged down worrying about cryptic syntax or, esoteric commands or the specific intricacies of programming languages like Python or JavaScript. Instead, you're simply expressing your thoughts, your overarching goals, and your iterative feedback in plain, everyday English. It's essentially like having an incredibly smart, tirelessly efficient coding assistant who understands your intentions perfectly, almost telepathically.
And that natural language aspect is genuinely transformative. It allows for a level of accessibility in programming that was, previously unimaginable. This isn't about simple, rigid commands you type into a search bar like create variable X, not at all. It's about expressing your deepest intent, your broader goals for the entire application, and then providing nuanced, detailed feedback on what the AI has already generated. You're describing desired functionality, the specific user experiences you envision, even subtle design aesthetics, all in a conversational manner. This approach truly bridges that formidable gap between complex human thought and precise machine execution. Think about it. Suddenly, the steep learning curve, the complex grammar, the vast vocabulary of traditional coding languages, they become far less of an obstacle. This dramatically lowers the barrier to entry for programming, allowing a much broader and more diverse range of individuals to engage in software creation. It really democratizes the ability to build, opening up the world of app development to a vast new pool of talent.
That's fascinating. And the concept itself isn't entirely new, right? Even though its practical application and widespread adoption are exploding right now, we can actually trace the origins of what we now call vibe coding back to a pivotal insight from the renowned AI researcher Andre Karpathy. He's widely credited not only with coining the term, but more importantly, articulating the foundational philosophy behind it. That philosophy is encapsulated in his powerful and frankly quite memorable phrase, "Forget that the code exists." That really sticks with you, doesn't it? It challenges everything we thought we knew about coding.
It absolutely does stick with you because it's a profound call to rethink our relationship with software development. And delving deeper into Karpathy's philosophy truly illuminates the very essence of vibe coding. What does it mean, fundamentally, to forget that the code exists? Well, it implies a complete liberation from the syntactic complexities, the intricate rules, the endless debugging of semicolons, the precise placement of curly braces, and all the low-level minutiae that have traditionally defined the act of coding. When you can forget about those mechanical elements, when the details of implementation are handled by an intelligent partner, you're no longer bogged down in the mechanics. Instead, you're free to stay entirely within a purely creative, conceptual, and problem-solving flow. This isn't merely a technological advancement that makes things easier, it's a fundamental mindset shift for anyone involved in software development, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out. It allows the human mind to focus on what to build and why it matters, rather than how to construct every single line.
So is it still coding then, if you're not actually typing out Python or C++?
That's the big question, isn't it? And I think the answer increasingly is yes. But the nature of coding has undeniably evolved. It fundamentally redefines the role of a software engineer. Instead of being primarily a code implementer, someone who translates abstract ideas into concrete lines of syntax, meticulously typing and debugging, the engineer becomes more of a high-level architect, a creative director, maybe even a product visionary. Your core value shifts dramatically. It moves from knowing specific programming language idioms and frameworks to understanding user needs deeply, designing elegant and impactful solutions, and effectively guiding the AI. This approach can dramatically foster innovation precisely because it significantly reduces the cognitive load associated with managing syntax, handling obscure library details, and chasing down subtle bugs. This frees up an immense amount of mental energy, allowing individuals to focus their intellectual horsepower on truly novel ideas, complex system design challenges, and the kind of creative problem solving that, well, only a human mind can achieve. It allows us to reach for bigger, bolder ideas without being limited by the sheer volume of code needed to build them.
That's a truly fascinating shift. It makes me think of an analogy, maybe for you, the listener, to really visualize this. Imagine a master sculptor. In the past, they might have meticulously carved every detail themselves, chipping away at stone with a chisel, every single stroke requiring immense physical and mental effort.
Right.
But with vibe coding, it's more like that master sculptor now directs a highly skilled, incredibly precise robotic arm. The sculptor doesn't need to know the intricate physics of how the arm moves, or the exact calibration of its tools, or the specific programming language that controls it. Their expertise lies purely in providing the artistic vision, the overarching direction, and then giving precise, iterative feedback on what's forming. They might say, make the curve a little softer here, or sharpen that edge slightly, or maybe add more texture to this surface. It's about vision, direction, and refinement, not the manual labor of carving. The genius is in the guidance, not the grip of the chisel.
Exactly. It's a perfect analogy.
So this isn't just a theoretical concept or some philosophical discussion. Vibe coding is already making tangible waves in the real world. One of the most compelling, almost poetic examples comes directly from his conceptual father, Karpathy himself. He actually utilized vibe coding to build a practical application called Manugan. And he achieved this not through traditional coding, but by simply giving goals and feedback in what he described as plain English. Think about that for a moment. A leading mind in AI, someone who deeply understands the intricacies of machine learning, demonstrating the power and practicality of this new paradigm by using it to build something functional, all without writing conventional code. That really speaks volumes about its effectiveness.
Oh, the maneuvering example is incredibly significant. It serves as a powerful validation that vibe coding isn't just theoretical. It's not just a futuristic dream confined to academic papers. This is a highly natural, almost human-like dialogue that incrementally builds the software. It makes it incredibly accessible and efficient. This practical application unequivocally demonstrates the immense potential for non-developers, small business owners, or even individual creators to build custom software solutions without the prohibitive cost, time, and specialized knowledge traditionally required, without hiring large traditional tech teams.
And here's where it gets really impactful for the broader industry, moving beyond just individual projects. Vibe coding is seeing truly widespread adoption right within the heart of the startup ecosystem. A recent compelling statistic from Y Combinator, which, for those unfamiliar, is one of the world's most prestigious and influential startup accelerators, reveals just how mainstream this approach is rapidly becoming. They report that a staggering 25% of their incubated startups, that's 1 out of every 4 companies they back, now operate with 95% AI-generated code bases. Let that incredible statistic truly sink in for a moment. 95%. 1/4 of the companies incubated by a leading venture firm are primarily powered by artificial intelligence, with human entrepreneurs providing that guiding vibe, the vision, and the refinement. This isn't some niche experiment. It's a fundamental shift in how new tech companies are being built.
Wow. That statistic, 95% AI-generative code bases, signals nothing less than a massive industry-wide paradigm shift. Seriously. In how software companies are not just conceived, but also how they're built, scaled, and funded. What it means for venture capital, for startup incubation, and for the entire innovation landscape is truly profound. It dramatically accelerates the speed at which new companies can launch products, iterate on features, and pivot based on market feedback. In a world where the initial heavy lifting of foundational code creation is largely automated, human efforts can be focused entirely on higher value activities. Things like understanding truly unique value propositions, deep diving into complex problem to solution mapping, refining the user experience to perfection, and strategizing market entry. This isn't just about incremental improvements, it's a fundamental reevaluation of entire development cycles, resource allocation, even the definition of what a lean startup looks like. It suggests a future where the sheer volume of code is no longer the primary bottleneck, allowing human ingenuity to be channeled into creativity, strategic vision, and complex problem solving.
And the implications for entrepreneurship are just immense, aren't they? It dramatically democratizes the ability to start a tech company. It truly lowers the barrier to entry in an unprecedented way. If the arduous process of writing code is no longer the primary hurdle, imagine the diverse new types of founders who might emerge. Artists who want to build interactive installations, scientists needing custom data analysis tools, community organizers with brilliant ideas for social platforms, or even individuals with incredibly niche business ideas who previously lacked the technical means to execute them. They no longer need to spend years learning programming or raise massive amounts of capital just to hire a development team. The competitive advantage for these vibe-coded startups is undeniable. They can achieve significantly faster time to market, allowing them to test more ideas rapidly, gather user feedback sooner, and adapt with agility. And crucially, they can also operate with potentially much lower initial development costs than their traditionally coded counterparts. It makes entrepreneurship more accessible than ever before.
Precisely. And if we connect all these dots, looking at the bigger picture, these powerful real-world examples from Karpathy's personal project, Menugan, showing the method's practicality on an individual scale, to the sweeping trend observed by Y Combinator across its huge portfolio of startups, they unequivocally reinforce and validate the initial definition of vibe coding we laid out earlier. They demonstrate beyond any doubt that the core idea of natural language guidance driving AI generation isn't just theoretical. It's proving to be remarkably effective, highly scalable, and increasingly central to how new software is being created in the tech world today. It's not just a concept anymore, it's validation in action happening right now.
Okay, now let's talk about the transformative power of vibe coding. Why does it matter so much to you, to businesses, to the future of software? One of the most immediate and quantifiable benefits that leaps out from our sources is unprecedented speed and efficiency. The data suggests a significant speed increase in development, with projects becoming approximately 25% faster overall. That's not a small incremental jump. It is a massive acceleration in how quickly ideas can move from initial concept to a fully functional application ready for users. It fundamentally changes the pace of innovation.
It's absolutely crucial to analyze why development becomes 25% faster because it's far more than just replacing typing with talking, although, yeah, that certainly contributes. The real efficiency gain stems from several powerful factors. First, it significantly reduces the need for boilerplate code, those repetitive structural elements and configurations that every application needs, but which offer little unique value. The AI can generate those instantly. Second, it automates mundane, repetitive tasks that typically consume countless hours of a developer's time, freeing them from tedious, error-prone manual work. Third, it can generate complex functions, entire modules, or even intricate database schemas almost instantly based on a clear, natural language description. It bypasses what would traditionally be hours or even days of meticulous manual coding. And crucially, it dramatically streamlines the iterative process of building, testing, and refining. This newfound speed doesn't make human developers obsolete, rather, it frees them up. It lets them focus on higher level design, craft truly unique features that provide genuine competitive advantage, and engage in critical thinking about complex system architecture and optimal user experiences. Instead of getting bogged down in the mundane, low level details of implementation, it really elevates the human role.
So what does a 25% speed increase mean in practical terms? For you, whether you're an individual creator or part of a company, it means dramatically faster product cycles. It allows companies and individuals to respond to evolving market demands and user feedback with unprecedented agility. It means the ability to test far more ideas in less time, rapidly iterating on concepts to quickly discover what truly resonates with users and what needs refining. For a startup, that 25% speed boost could mean launching an MVP or a critical new feature weeks or even months ahead of a competitor. Imagine a small, lean team now being able to deliver what once required a much larger, more expensive development workforce. That is a monumental game changer for competitiveness in any industry. It allows smaller players to move with the speed of giants.
Exactly. And to put that into even sharper perspective, consider a common scenario. A developer traditionally might spend hours, maybe even days, manually setting up a database schema, configuring user authentication protocols, defining all the necessary API endpoints for something like social login. With vibe coding, they could describe these intricate requirements in minutes. They might say something like, okay, create a database for user profiles that securely stores names, email addresses, and encrypted password hashes. Then set up robust API endpoints to retrieve, update, and delete these profiles, ensuring all operations are authenticated and authorized. The AI could then scaffold that entire complex structure almost instantly, ready for the human to review and refine. This kind of rapid prototyping and foundational building is precisely where the real, tangible speed increase from vibe coding originates. It collapses days of work into minutes of conversation.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting for a lot of you who might have brilliant app ideas, incredible entrepreneurial visions, but have always felt limited or, excluded by a perceived lack of coding expertise. Vibe coding has a truly profound impact on democratizing development. The most striking and perhaps most empowering benefit here is that absolute beginners individuals with no prior coding experience can now prototype and even build functional applications without achieving mastery in any traditional programming language. This is, in every sense of the word, revolutionary.
The significance of this profound democratization cannot be overstated. The traditional barrier to entry in programming has always been incredibly steep. We all know that. It's the formidable learning curve associated with understanding complex syntax, navigating various frameworks, truly mastering specific languages like Java, Swift, or C Sharp. It's a significant time investment, often requiring months, if not years, of dedicated study and practice just to become proficient enough to build anything meaningful. Vibe coding bypasses this barrier almost entirely by allowing individuals to express their ideas and intentions in the language they already know intimately, their native natural language. This isn't just about making it easier, it's about opening up the entire world of app creation to a vast,